Hi, everyone. I'm Reza. I'm a junior at UVA majoring in computer science and English. And today I'm going to be interviewing Matt Casey. Matt is a BCCP manager at Bona, and that stands for Bona Certified Craftsman Program. He's also a member of NWFA, which stands for the National Wood Flooring Association. It's a not-for-profit trade association representing segments of the hardwood flooring industry, including manufacturers, distributors, retailers, installers, importers, exporters, inspectors, and consultants. Hi, Matt. How you doing?
Good, Reza. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
So my first question for you is, could you describe what your typical workday entails, and what your first few years in your career was like?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, thanks for having me today. Definitely appreciate it. It's interesting. A lot of tradesmen are from generations, right? Their dad did that specific trade. Their granddaddy did that specific trade, and hardwood flooring is very similar to that. However, I had no family background in the industry. Kind of stumbled upon it, so to speak, which I think a lot of college graduates will find that industry that you have passion for may line up in a different way than initially thought. And that was definitely the way it happened for me at Bona. So over the last 15 years, a lot has changed with those passions, but I think that day to day that you mentioned has changed as well. But a lot of those goals still line up from when I initially got out of college and joined on with Bona. So I manage the Bona Certified Craftsman program. So I work with our professional side with the sand and finish contractor or that install flooring contractor that you might think of. But the Bona brand, a lot of consumers out there in the marketplace know Bona for the hardwood flooring cleaners. That's in a lot of the big box stores. So we now have a network of professional contractors, and that's who I work with on a daily basis, typically from a sales platform, but also that marketing and training side definitely comes in with my particular role, working with that hardwood flooring contractor. From that side, from a day to day, that's definitely changed over the years, but I think those goals have remained pretty similar.
Okay, great. Yeah. What are some activities that you do that you might do on a typical workday?
Yeah, absolutely. So, a big part of what I do is working directly with the Bona certified craftsmen. So these are experienced install, sand, and finish flooring contractors that come to a specific training and meet certain requirements to earn the Bona certification. And they're able to utilize that out in the field and say, hey, I'm a Bona certified craftsman. I'm trained, I'm trusted, I'm using the high quality product. And then as a consumer, recognizing that Bona brand, that's really where that connection can be made. And for me, outside of that product training, Bona has a full system of products, the equipment. You might see a couple pieces behind me that contractors actually sanding floors with, dustless sanding now. So all that, you picture kind of that big dusty room. Those days are long gone and long behind us. So these contractors are using the correct equipment and the right finishes, stains, all those products through that process for those solid hardwood floors. So really my main objective in working with not only our sales reps out in the field, but also the contractors is to make sure they're trained, they're using what we call best practices to get that best product down on your floor, but they're also engaged in the program, in the Bona Certified Craftsman program, meaning, they're using some sales and marketing tools available to them. And really they're bringing that homeowner the best hardwood floor that they can get in the long run.
Very cool. Okay, that's awesome. That sounds really cool. So I guess my next question leading up to that is, what are some of the high school courses that you've taken, or maybe college courses that you've taken that helped you in your occupation? Or maybe, what are some of the courses that you wished you had taken?
Right. Again, I didn't necessarily have that hands-on background. That a lot of, when you think of hardwood flooring, oftentimes you're thinking of the contractor, right? That guy that's buying a big machine, he's sanding those floors, changing the color, the look, making them look new again. But I quickly realized getting into the industry, there's a lot more to it than the contractor. For example, I work on the manufacturing side, and we work with a lot of the distributors and contractors that you might think of coming into your home or apartment to do the work on those hardwood floors. So I wish I might have gotten a little bit more of that hands-on in high school, whether that's as simple as a woodshop class or something to that effect, because I was definitely pretty green when it came to that hands-on side. but I was able to use a lot of the courses, training, internships that I had utilized in college to really now, it was kind of crazy to see that come full circle, to be, talking to folks twice my age that had been in the industry for essentially as long as I'd been alive, and really a lot of those social skills and a lot of the networking and professional side that you can pick up that hands-on side. And I learned that in this industry. Within those first few years with Bona, I was able to learn the beginning side of the sand and finish and that install. But interacting with folks within my own organization, it's a global company. So how am I interacting with folks from other countries? Then hardwood flooring contractors, other manufacturers, distribution. They're really a diverse group of folks. And I think for me, in college, it was about putting myself in situations to meet and talk to all types of people, similar to what you're doing here, Reza.
That sounds right on. You mentioned that you did an internship in college. Do you want to expand on that? What kind of experience was it, and how was it helpful for your current job?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it was my first what I'd call professional experience. I'd had plenty of jobs throughout high school and college, but this was the first time I was throwing on a pair of slacks and going to work 5 days a week. Right, it was a summer internship down in Denver, downtown Denver, for a health insurance company. So again, it was more about getting outside of my comfort zone, right? Meeting people I typically wouldn't. And although the tasks at hand were very doable and simple in some ways, it was about putting myself in that chair and meeting individuals that, again, had that industry experience that I didn't have. And although that wasn't my passion and that's not the industry that I was going into, I definitely wouldn't be sitting here today, 15 years into the hardwood flooring industry, without those experiences from an internship that again reached a little bit outside of that comfort zone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Going back to the NWFA, how would you say the NWFA has impacted your work, your career? What are some of the benefits of being a member?
Yeah, well, that definitely, the NWFA has many different legs, many different membership styles. And again, I work for a manufacturer, so I was introduced to the NWFA through that side. And as a member, it's really about support, networking, making sure you have the right connections with the industry. But for me, there are some parallels with Bona and the NWFA, mostly from the training side. So I was in our technical department in training, where you're getting all types of contractors, whether they're brand new to the industry and they're learning how to, lift and lower a handle on a sanding machine, to those guys, again, that have literally 40 and 50 years of experience in the industry. So the training support is big, and that continued education. I think you see it a lot in the trades, especially within hardwood flooring. You can learn how to, sand and finish a floor in a handful of months in a couple of different ways. But over the years, by continuing that education, whether it's within networking with other professionals, which the NWFA provides, or within your own company, or just the experiences you're having, I mean, that continued education is really what it helps you excel, not only personally, but your company and the industry as a whole. And I definitely see that a lot with hardwood.
Yeah. Are there any specific conferences or educational opportunities that you'd say have impacted you the most from NWFA?
And I think that also goes back to that comfort zone. Being in those scenarios for the first time was unique, 12 and 15 years ago. But again, some parallels with NWFA and Bona, not only on that hands-on sand and finish training, but also the annual convention. So a trade convention each year where all parts of the industry get together to not only share knowledge, but meet one another, see how we can work together. Again, continue that education, and of course, be profitable in whatever business we're doing. And the program that I manage, the Bona Certified Craftsman program, we actually every couple of years bring in Bona Certified Craftsmen together. So a couple hundred contractors, and similar format and feel about education, networking, industry support. That's all a part of the Bona Certified Craftsman convention as well. So, and there's a ton of overlap between those two. We get a lot of the same attendees, and it's so positive to see what comes out of that. Again, both personally and professionally from the attendees.
Yeah, it seems really great to have access to such a good community in your line of work. Yeah.
Yeah, and now a lot of that's it's come virtual, right?
Right.
If we had this conversation a year back, it'd be a lot different. But that e-learning aspect, the NWFA has an excellent online university. Bona, same for our Bona certified craftsmen. It's how can you continue that education and reach others? And yeah, we're finding some new ways to do that, obviously.
Yeah. So what is something that most people would not expect from your job, or what surprised you the most about your job at Bona?
Well, there's a couple of things there, Reza. I think first is really the diversity of the work. I think when I was 20 years old and heard hardwood flooring, again, I was thinking installation or sanding and finish. But I've realized, although I learned the trade throughout my years with Bona, really the other side, there's a lot to it, whether it's sales and marketing, product development, product management, the technical services and training side. Then that funnels all the way down to, of course, our customer service team, accounts receivable, the finance side. I was very naive to the amount of hands and brains that come together for any operation, whether it's hardwood flooring or any other trade. It's a lot more than just that final product that might be on a hardwood floor in my instance. There's a lot to go into it. I've done a lot of travel, which was very surprising in the hardwood flooring industry, but again, there's all types of manufacturers and contractors and distributors within the industry. And I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of those different types of folks throughout the country and beyond.
Wow, yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Do you have, I guess, any final thoughts or any final words of advice for anyone who might be considering your occupation or something adjacent to that, any kind of trade job?
Yeah. I think again, it really goes back to the diversity of opportunity. I'll say, I'm really in more of a sales role now. It started as customer service, turned into training when I was hands-on showing individuals how to sand and finish. And that's evolved now into a role where it's sales, marketing, management, again, that technical training side. There's a lot to it regardless of which industry. And I think as a college student studying business, I remember taking an international business class and thinking, I may never be overseas. How does this apply to what I'm going to be doing in a couple of years? And sure enough, it's the type of people you meet. For example, I never thought I'd have ties to, but again, there's so many opportunities within trades, more so than just the hands-on side, which can bring a lot of joy and contentment and money as well. And then there's again the other legs of it that come into play too. So it's been pretty exciting over the last 15 years, no doubt.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Matt. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks, Reza. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everyone else who's watching this video, thank you for joining us. I hope you guys learn more about the NWFA. If you want more information, visit the QCareer website. We have an NWFA page, and find out how NWFA can maybe help you with your career development. Until next time, have a good week. Bye-bye.